Hi Capricorn, welcome to your May 2024 horoscope. There are a couple of major themes for you in the month of May, and the first one has to do with the planet Pluto. This is because on May 2nd, Pluto goes retrograde. Pluto entered your second house in January of this year. So whatever actions you have taken since January, you might be reconsidering them. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let me first give a short explanation of Pluto in your second house. By the way, if you want a longer, more detailed explanation of Pluto and Pluto through all of the houses, I'll leave the live I did just recently on this topic. Pluto in your second house for the next 20 years is about you finding your own power in your own self-confidence, finding the power that you can experience and have when you show up and take care of yourself. So any actions you have taken around this topic since January, in May, you might be reflecting back on them. You might be reconsidering if what you did was the best thing to do, the best way to approach it, and if you could do it again, what you would do differently. And this story will continue to play out and be top of mind through the rest of May. One of the other key dates where this story may be top of mind is on May 3rd. On May 3rd, Mars sextiles Pluto. Another key date is May 20th, when Mars conjuncts the North Node. In evolutionary astrology, Pluto and the nodes are connected. This is because the lessons that we learn with Pluto usually help us step in the direction of our North Node. And this is why on the 20th, even though there is no contact with Pluto per se, I do feel like Mars conjuncting the North Node might bring up some of these Plutonian themes anyways. Because Mars and the North Node are in your fourth house, it's almost as if the things that are happening in your family are affecting your self-confidence and vice versa. The struggles that you're having in believing yourself, in loving yourself, in having compassion for yourself is influencing how you show up with your family. May 22nd and May 25th may also bring up this theme for you once again. This is because on the 22nd, the Sun trines Pluto, and on the 25th, Venus trines Pluto. The trine can be a little bit more active than the sextile. It might be less easy to ignore the situation. You might have to act on it. But what's interesting about these two dates, the 22nd and the 25th, is that there's a new house in this conversation, which is a new twist, a new approach, a new way of looking at this theme of your self-confidence. The Sun and Venus will be trining Pluto from your sixth house. So on the 22nd and 25th, you might experience that your routine has direct impact on your self-confidence and your love for yourself. It could be that because of your struggle with loving yourself, showing up for yourself, you also struggle to maintain a good routine, and vice versa. That when you don't maintain a good routine, when you don't take care of your health, your body, that has an impact on your confidence. Another major theme for you in the month of May, Capricorn, is the relationship between your third and fifth house. And I cannot help but think of this as major possibility of being overstimulated. And the reason why I say this is your third house is your local surroundings. It also represents an overload of information, a lot of sort of things happening around you, gathering a lot of input through your senses. And your fifth house is your inner child, your creativity, your pleasure. And when you put a child in a really loud environment, in an environment with a lot of light, a lot of noise, a lot of things to look at, the child gets overstimulated and reacts in some way. So it's possible that in May, you also have this sort of tug of war between a child wanting to get in touch with his inner creativity, his inner drive for play and pleasure, but at the same time having so much happening outside of him in his local surroundings that are directing his attention instead. So it might feel like a little bit of a pull between getting in touch with your own intuition versus always being distracted by everything around you. Some of the key dates around this theme are May 8th. On May 8th, we have a new moon in Taurus. And during this new moon, there's a sextile between Saturn and the Sun. Saturn in your third house and the Sun in your fifth. Another key date is May 13th, when Venus in your fifth sextiles Saturn in your third. And later in the month, as Venus and the Sun also leave your fifth house and get ready to enter your sixth house, they highlight this theme again because on their way out, they sextile Neptune as well. So I do see this as a central theme that will be top of mind during May for you. Let's chat more about your fifth house. Why don't we, Capricorn? There are a lot of planets in your fifth house in the month of May. We have the Sun, we have Venus, we have Uranus, and we have Jupiter. That is a lot of energy there. Some of the key dates on the interaction between the Sun and Venus and Uranus and Jupiter are May 13th, when the Sun conjuncts Uranus, May 18th, when Venus conjuncts Uranus and the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, and May 23rd, when Venus conjuncts Jupiter. So really, for the span of these 2 weeks, from May 13th to the 23rd, give or take a couple of days, your pleasure, play, inner child is front and center. I hope you carve out some time during these 2 weeks to play and to have fun. This could be dancing in your living room with the music blasting when no one is watching. It could be going out with your friends. It could be trying out a creative event. But it could be simple things at home as well, like a coloring book or a puzzle. Anything that gets you in touch with the aspect of play. Playing or doing something just for the sake of enjoyment, not with this idea of doing it in order to get somewhere. Towards the end of the month, this focus from play starts to slowly shift into work and your routine. So enjoy it while it lasts, because it won't last forever. This shift is initiated by the Sun on the 20th of May when it enters Gemini, or your sixth house. On the 23rd of May, we also have a full moon in Sagittarius, which further highlights this aspect between your 6th and 12th house. On May 26th, Jupiter follows suit, leaves your 5th house, and also enters Gemini, or your 6th house. So from the 20th, you might be finding that there is an innate sense of you, a deep part within you that wants to slowly shift from pleasure, from fun, into setting up a more rigid routine, into taking care of your body, into making sure you get regular workouts in, or you set up a specific nutritional plan to follow. It won't all be sudden. I would say that from the 20th, there's sort of little hints that come to you here and there. And I would say more from the 26th, when Jupiter enters Gemini, that's when that shift might start to really take place. Jupiter entering Gemini is big. Jupiter is going to stay there for a year, so it really has time to sort of teach its lessons in that area of your life. I'm going to do a live later in the month of May talking all about Jupiter and Gemini through all of the houses. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. But for a sort of quick summary for this May horoscope, Jupiter in your 6th house might make it extra easy for you to follow a routine. It might amplify your focus and your drive to set up a routine. It could be that you find just the right mentor that can guide you in this area. It could be that you stumble upon just the right workout type or just the right new sport that you really enjoy and will make it easy for you to maintain it. So that's everything I have for you, Capricorn. I hope you're excited for May. And let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about Jupiter leaving your 5th house. Are you sad? Have you had the best time with Jupiter in your 5th house? Let me know your experiences down below. Thank you so much for joining me, Capricorn. And I hope you join me in June when I post the June horoscope. Bye for now.